Okay, class. Now let me start the next structure, that is called selection structure. So we have already created a sequence structure. Now let me comment this code because we are using a single application, and in C++ only one main function is allowed, and that's why we are commenting the code. Now I would like to add one more file, that is like selection, right? So that we learn next is a selection.cpp. Okay, so it is our next file, selection.cpp. Let me close the sequence.cpp. We don't need any more right now. Okay. Okay, so let me go through the standard structure. So I'll write first of all, header file. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'll include header file. Okay, so my header file has been included. Now next is using namespace. Steady means we have included namespace. Let me write our main function. Okay, so a standard structure is done. Now we want to implement selection structure, right? So in C++, to implement selection structure, we will use a keyword called if. Okay, we will use, there are multiple options. We will use a simple keyword called if and else too. Okay, I will show you both. How can we use if else, as well as we can use only if too, if demo, right? Okay, so let me learn about how can we use a selection structure. Now first of all, let me decide what we want to do. So let's say, for example, we want to find that we want to read a number and want to find that whether the number is 5 or not. Okay, and for that we will use if demo. I mean if only. We are not going to use if else right now. Let me remove it. Okay, so I will use if only, and let me define the definition of our code, that is find the number is 5, that's all, or not, we are not going to find the number is 5, that's all. Okay, so how can we write it? So first of all, we'll need a number. So we have declared a variable called number. We'll read a number. So enter number, then in number. Now we want to find that if the number is 5 or not. So we will use a simple condition like if number double equals 5. Now make sure in C++ programming, while you want to compare two values, we will use double equals sign. Okay, make sure while we want to compare two values, we'll use double equals to sign, and that is called comparison operator, right? So if I'm using only equals to sign, means I want to assign something, to give some value. Okay, but here I want to compare that if the number equals 5, then that is a comparison operator, and that's why we should use double equals sign. So here I have used double equals sign. If number double equals 5, yes, then we want to print that Cout, the number is 5. That's all, right? Nothing else. Means I have written condition, and if the condition is true, I mean if number is 5, then print then number is 5. This is called if statement. Okay, now let me run our code. So it is asking us for the entering number. Now suppose I have entered 5. It is saying me that number is 5. That is all. That is done. Right? Nothing else. Now let me run our code once again. Now at this time, instead of 5, I have entered 4. Now what next? So the number value is 4. Okay, because we have to enter number. We have entered number as 4. Now this is condition. It is going to check, or it is going to verify that 4 equals 5. Now 4 is not equals to 5. So this condition is incorrect. Okay, now if this condition is incorrect, it is not going to execute the statements. Means as the number is 4, the condition is incorrect, so this statement will not execute. Okay, because 4 double equals 5 is not correct. And this is called selection. Okay, now suppose I want to write like here, if the number is not 5, it is not going to print anything, and that we cannot like find meaningful, right? So to print that if number is 5, then okay, print number is 5, else print something else, right? So, or print something like that number is not 5. So how it is possible? So that is possible through the else statement. So we can write like else, I mean if number is 5, print that the number is 5. Else, print that the number is not 5. Is it good? It looks good, right? Let me execute. So now at this time we have to enter the value of number once again. So suppose I have entered 5. It is going to print the number is 5 because as we have entered number value 5, it is going to compare that 5 equals to 5. Yes, the condition is true. So this statement will execute that the number is 5. Now, make sure that while this condition is true, if this condition is true, it is going to execute the statement which is written with if block, and it is not going to execute the statement which is written in a else block. Is it okay? I mean, if this condition is true, execute the statements, else execute the statements. While else part will execute when this condition is false. Otherwise, if this condition is true, it is going to execute this part only, and that is why it is called a selection. So the selection is done on the basis of this condition. If it is true, or execute this statement. If this condition is false, execute the statement with else. Okay. Now let me run this code once again. So enter number. For example, I want to enter number 4. Okay. And it is going to print that the number is not 5. What is reason? Because we have entered 4. We want to verify that 4 double equals 5. No, it is not correct. So it is going to select the else part and will execute the number is not 5. And that is why it is called selection. Okay, it is a selecting the statement on the base of the condition. If condition is true, execute this part, else execute this part. Thank you.